Yeah, what are some deep voice warm-ups? There we go. Perfect. That sound great. Greetings. You're listening to the Cold Call Lawcast, the Minnesota Law School podcast featuring students from the University of Minnesota Law School, the University of St. Thomas School of Law, and the Mitchell-Hamlin School of Law. Hello, you're listening to the Cold Call Lawcast, and with me right now are my co-hosts. I am Mitchell. I am a law student at St. Thomas, and this Lawcast is about students from law school based here in Minnesota, and so we're really looking forward to having great conversations about our law school, about life, and our future plans being young lawyers. So with that, I will go ahead and kick it off. So with me here are two students from the University of Minnesota, another student from Mitchell-Hamlin School of Law. And so without any further ado, let's head over to Abby here to tell us a little bit about yourself and just tell us a little bit more about you.
Sure. So I'm Abby. I'm an incoming 1L at the University of Minnesota. So I also did my undergrad at the University of Minnesota. I studied global studies and geography. I focused on population, migration, and identity. So now I'm mostly interested in human rights law and immigration law. Very pertinent right now, for sure, too. But I'm willing to see where the first year of classes take me because I don't get to pick any yet, so we'll see how that goes. I also work at the campus radio station at the University of Minnesota. It's been my job throughout undergrad. So yeah.
And so why did you decide to go to law school? I just guess in general.
So it was kind of a surprise for me when I thought about it, and I was like, this seems like a good idea. I don't know. So hopefully I won't just get my ass kicked, but we'll see. So yeah, basically just within the past year, I took one undergraduate law class. It was international human rights law. So it was very lenient, but it kind of was like the structure of class, and I just really liked the way, the type of thinking that was involved in it, and interpreting sort of laws, because I don't know, international human rights law is different.
And you're coming right from undergraduate right to law school,
yeah,
right?
So I just graduated in May, 2 months ago, and starting classes in a couple weeks here in September.
So you're probably the youngest of all of us. I'm the old man, obviously, of the group, but that's it. And so what do you like outside of school and everything? Tell us more about yourself.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of what I even do for fun because I don't know. But
school. School. That's all we do.
School's
fun.
Fun.
Say goodbye to whatever it is.
Yeah. I do like making playlists a lot because I do DJ at the radio station. I used to do the metal show actually, that was fun. I don't do it anymore. I learned a lot because I was not a metalhead going into it, but no one was going to take it over. So that was fun. I also do the international show and a spoken word show where I read poetry at night.
Oh, cool.
So that was kind of fun. Cool. I don't know if I'll be continuing that yet into next year because I'll be pretty busy, I assume. So
you'll have to juggle.
Yeah.
Your own poetry or other people's?
Oh, other people's poetry.
Have you written your own ever?
No, not since high school.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's kind of fun. Recently this summer I started playing in a band. I play one snare drum.
Nice.
It's very experimental, so we'll see where that goes.
You play snare drum regularly?
I just started 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's it.
How many drumsticks do you have?
I have 2 sets of drumsticks, and they're different.
So you use both hands to play the one drum?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you already know how to twirl the sticks and look really awesome? Is that in your repertoire? Okay.
Probably dropping it would be part of the experimental side of our group, though. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah. We'll see.
Awesome. All right. Hannah, she is our other Minnesota law student, and she says she has a potty mouth, so I think we're going to edit some of that stuff out in post-production. But Go ahead,
I
Anna.
didn't
Tell us.
use that phrase, by the way. That's the dad phrase.
Yeah, that's probably me.
I swear, sometimes it's normal. It happens. Hi, yeah, I'm Hannah. U of M, also rising 2L, I guess is what we call ourselves. I went to undergrad at University of Arizona, studied not the law at all. Speech, language, hearing sciences, a little bit of Turkish, some astronomy. I graduated a few years ago, moved back. I was supposed to be a speech pathologist, decided not to do that, so I've been working, traveling, doing stuff for a few years, and decided to go back. And, I've been thoroughly crushed through my first year, so I'm a little, a little more flattened maybe than than those of you coming in, but
and you went full time, correct?
Full time, yeah. That's the only option at the U. They demand to take over your whole life, so that's how we do it.
They own you, huh?
They might. I mean, I've signed a lot of stuff, so and I, like, even as a law student, you don't read that fine print. So iTunes, whatever. I just want to get on record. I did not actually agree to whatever box I checked when I, iTunes, Amazon, like all of those services.
But you checked it anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't freely negotiated.
There you go.
I mean, you don't have to use a service.
I didn't have a chance to. Yeah, that's true, and I try not to, actually. Other stuff. Let's see. I'm from Minnesota originally, from Rochester. What else? What else do we want to know?
I mean, we want to learn all about your personal interests, your personal life. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, personal stuff. So I like dogs. I have one. Love dogs a lot.
What kind of dog do you have again?
She's a mutt. She's some kind of Akita mix, but she's smarter than most of the people that I know, including myself. She is super smart. And let's see, it's hard because I feel like I used to have more interest, but
once law school started, it kind of
they're in there. They're dormant, and I'm telling myself that they're dormant. They're going to come back. They'll reawaken. But I love sci-fi, novels, books, all that stuff, and astronomy. I like the real and the fake science of space.
So what got you into astronomy?
Oh, let's see. I think sci-fi kind of got me into astronomy. So I was really into sci-fi as a kid. Read Animorphs and stuff, and
those are the greatest.
You guys read Animorphs? Oh, we should just screw this. This is now. This is now an Animorphs podcast. Fuck law school. That's boring. Animorphs. We're starting. There's 50. I know there's at least 54 in the series. So this episode is now about book 1 of Animorphs.
No, they were great novels.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when they first came out. I must have a couple of the first ones, but yeah, they were great.
Yeah, they are. People will discount them for the covers, but
no, I only looked at the
Goosebumps.
covers,
Yeah,
like meticulously, but never opened one.
see,
I don't know.
They were cool covers.
They were good
required-
covers.
required
Entrancing
reading
for
them.
like an elementary
I think
school
those are the
kid.
ones they have like the 3D kind of like you could feel the cover with like the
yeah.
animals changing or the guys changing in the end.
yeah, they had kind of those bubble covers. Yeah,
It was strange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This podcast is definitely becoming.
Yeah, first podcast.
it's a more interesting topic, honestly.
So, do you have any other interests?
Besides Animorphs,
Well, yeah. That and astronomy, yeah.
Dogs, yeah. I swear I do. I like trains, just in general. I like.
Okay.
I hate golf. I like hating golf. That's something that I enjoy doing.
You love to hate stuff?
Just a few things.
Okay.
Losing trivia, I do that.
Like there's gonna be a lot of negativity coming in the next few episodes. Here.
Play to lose. Lose. Yeah, bringing down the capitalist superstructure. I'm into that too.
Awesome.
That's a good hobby.
Yeah.
Spare time.
Yeah, in your spare time.
Which there really isn't much of any.
No, not really. Yeah, I'm kind of a workaholic, which,
Can you say where you work right now? Do you?
Let's see. So I've got 3 jobs at the moment.
Wow.
Restaurants, and then 2 legal summer jobs doing research with a professor, and then I'm at working for an environmental law center.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Hannah. Let's move over to Anthony. We'll edit out some of those F words in post-production, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, just keep the Animorph stuff. That's
okay.
Really
That's key.
Yeah.
Okay. So just tell us your favorite Animorphs book, Anthony, please.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't remember very many of the Animorphs one. I remember there was one that guy turned into a cockroach or something, or maybe maybe I'm thinking of something else. But I was more of like a Magic Treehouse kind of guy.
Those were dope too. Okay.
Magic Treehouse. Here we go. It's going to be all of our childhood books. That is our
This
is our new podcast. Hello, folks. My name is Anthony. I am a rising 2L at Mitchell Hamlin School of Law in St. Paul. I've kind of been all over the board when it comes to school. I grew up in Duluth, so I started my college career in the civil engineering tract up at UMD. And I found out that I was not very good at math at all. I could not get past Calc 1, and you needed to get to Calc 4 in order to...
There's a 4?
There's Calc 4 and differential equations, and I couldn't get past Calc 1. So that really cut my time short in the civil engineering track. I was also an ROTC for the Air Force up in Duluth, and then I hurt my back, so I was no longer able to complete that. So... after that, I kind of moved to global studies and then international relations, and then I kind of moved to criminology, and then I left UMD because I did not like it in Duluth anymore, and I moved down to the city shortly after, and then I got accepted into this medical program at Brown College or Brown, whatever is the non-prestigious one. That's the one I got into. And then after that, I got accepted into a flight school in Florida, and then I ended up at Hamlin University, where I decided to major in legal studies with a paralegal certificate. So I kind of went into law school with a little bit of knowledge of how it kind of worked, and then I applied at the Mitchell Hamlin School of Law. They had just transferred from the Hamlin University School, so I was kind of in the middle of the merge. But I took a year off to work in a personal injury law firm, where I did plaintiff's work for a lot of motor vehicle accidents, and there are a lot of interesting characters out there. And I will let you know firsthand that a lot of them, it's kind of bullshit claims. Any kind of money you can get, but that was kind of the field that I started off in because I had interned there. And then after that, I had got a job that I now work at currently as a paralegal in a defense firm where I work in the toxic tort and mass litigation for asbestos. So if you ever hear about mesothelioma, I am the guy defending the big corporations. So
he gives it to people.
Yep, Hannah and I are going to get along great. So that's kind of my education background in a nutshell.
And so, what made you decide to become a lawyer?
Well, I am, for everyone who will find out, I am an adopted child. I grew up in Duluth. I was born in Minneapolis, so I'm from the area. And my mother was a social worker, so kind of growing up in that environment really got me interested in, child's rights, advocacy, foster care system, adoption care. When I was in high school, I was on an experimental adoption advisory board for Minnesota. Unfortunately, they cut the funding, so that never really got off the ground.
Wait. Experimental, the board was experimental, or they were like experimental adoptions.
No. The board was not.
What is an experimental adoption, and what are they doing to these kids?
Yeah, things that if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Okay,
But
we have another topic for our podcast.
There we go.